What is up, guys? What is happening? So good to see all of you again. Hope that you're smiling and having a great start to this week. I was going to do this Q&A session when I was in SASV. However, I left my camera charger and a lot of my batteries at the Scott headquarters after having visited them. Stupid, I know, but sometimes those things just happen. So this is plan B. However, I want to throw back to when I was in SASV skiing because we had some of the best conditions that I've ever skied in, and I finally discovered what powder is like. So this is a powder day with me, Scotty Laughland. That was an absolutely insane day skiing that powder. It was so much fun. I can't even begin to explain it. You just had this huge smile on your face. You were just grinning the whole way down and loving it. The only comparison I can make to being on the bike is when you're riding loam. That feeling of everything just being light beneath you, flowing, connecting things up, and you just, it's just so good. If you've never experienced it, then you definitely should get into it. I started skiing 3 years ago, and that was my first ever day in deep powder, and it was honestly up to my knees and it was coming up over your face. My friend Martin and Ross and I, we were just laughing, grinning, and got to the bottom and there was a lot of high fives shared. Then the next day after that, so that was a big experience for me, we went in to do a backcountry mountain thing. Now, it's not backcountry, however we escaped the piece and went down this massive valley. It was about a 1,000-meter drop, and here are some highlights. Yeah, doggy dog. So they were the highlights of an incredible week in SASV. I truly had a great time. Love skiing, and if you've never done it, then I certainly recommend that you go and try it sometime. However, let's now get into those questions. And the first one that I really feel I should answer is, how did I get into mountain biking? Well, I started riding trials at a really early age. I really admired Stu Thompson, Carrick Crawford Anderson. They were local heroes of mine at that time. And then I saw that they were racing downhill, and they happened to be competing in the first ever Scottish World Cup, which takes place still in Fort William, and I think it's been going on since 2002, so this will be the 16th year of competing up there. So we went up and watched that. I got pretty excited by it. At the time I had a giant boulder, which is a 26-inch bike, pretty basic, no suspension at all. I think it cost about £150. Went up to the local woods, there were some jumps and we built some more jumps, kept hitting them, wore that giant boulder out, then got myself a little dirt jump bike and just got so into it, did a race on that hardtail. I only had a V-brake and a disc brake, upgraded a few bits, then got more into it, then got a full suspension bike, started riding that, doing some Scottish downhill events and some national downhill events, then got the opportunity once I progressed some more to do World Cups. And from there, it just went up and up and up. And to be honest, I'm just someone who loves riding my bike, progressing, doing more and more things. And on that point of progression, let's talk about something. On that note of progression and learning, I want to talk about skiing and trials riding, just briefly, because something that I've realized is really important is the fact that you are consistently learning new things. And that keeps the excitement going. I've been riding my trials bike quite a lot, and I had ridden it a lot until I was 12 years old and I got to a really good level. I was C and D class Scottish champion. However, I hadn't touched it again and I picked it back up this year. I've ridden it 5 times and each time I've gotten better and better and better. I've had more confidence, I've committed to more things. And I think that's the biggest thing to having fun, is that when you're actually learning to do things, then just committing that little bit more. And the more things that you do and the more better you get at something, then the easier it is to have fun with it. And that is what I'm really enjoying about skiing and trials riding. Sure, I still love riding my mountain bike, and there's no better feeling than discovering a completely new trail that you've never ridden before, applying skills to it, and just coming down to the bottom and high-fiving your mates. However, my general riding ability is quite high, so the progression level is actually a lot lower than it is when I'm riding the trials bike, which is more like this compared to like that. And I've just got to say that I absolutely love riding the trials bike. So if you're new to mountain biking or you're just getting into it, then it's really important that you guys keep with it and you learn and you think about what you're doing so you can become a better and better rider. A lot of people always ask about my camera setup, and what I generally use for POV stuff is a GoPro Hero 6. Now, I've been using this for quite some time now, and it is a big upgrade on the Hero 5. The color definition and the stabilization are the main 2 key factors that really make it stand out. The colors that it gets are just insane. In fact, check out these clips from South Africa. The stabilization is of course a big benefit too. It gives you a really smooth sort of point of view stuff on the helmet. For the chesty, I do actually use the Karma grip with the extension cable, and that just makes it buttery smooth and so nice to watch. I love watching that chesty footage with that thing on. But it does work really well. And then my other setup, what I'm filming this on, well, you guys are gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm gonna do a full gear sort of run through at some point later in the year and go through all the details. But I'm still working, I'm still learning it all, so I don't want to give too much away just yet, and don't want to say something wrong either. To round off this Q&A, there are a couple of really good questions about the Scott Genius. The cool thing about it is that you can put 27.5 or 29-inch wheels in it. I've said that a number of times already. However, I'm yet to actually experiment with this. In fact, I've never ridden a 29-inch enduro bike before, but that'll be coming very soon because I've got some brand new wheels from We Are One Composites being built up at this very moment at the Sterling Bike Doctor. So I haven't actually experimented with that. That was the first question. Then the next question was all about bike size. Would I rather go up a bike size or down a bike size? And this is actually quite an interesting topic. Quite a hot topic, you could say, in the press, because a lot of people are saying that you should have a bigger bike, it gives you more stability. But on the other hand, not so long ago I actually rode a smaller bike, an 18-inch Genius, and I have to say that I had a blast on it because it's just so maneuverable. It's a little bit shorter and you can just really throw the bike around. It almost felt like a little slalom bike. So if I had the choice, I'd probably go for a bike smaller. In fact, for my height, I should probably be riding the extra large, but I've chosen to go for the large. I just feel that it's all around just a bit of a better fit. So this last question is a hard one to answer, and it's one that someone asked. So here we go. You guys know how much I love my Scott Genius, how many good times we already had. But the question is, what's my all-time favorite bike? I'm thinking about it. It's probably got to be my Common Self Supreme DH in 2011, where I raced a number of downhill World Cups, qualified for them and got second at the Scottish Championships, won my first ever elite downhill race, and just really had a blast racing. It was definitely the best year in my career. However, this summer there's going to be some insane travel plans, some insane video projects that I cannot wait to get into. And I somewhat think that this year is going to blow 2011 out of the water. However, we'll have to wait and see. You guys all know what is coming up on the channel. It's all going to be about good times, so make sure that you've given this vlog a thumb up like and that you've smashed that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys very soon on the trails.